Welcome to the Mindful English Podcast.
Hello, dear learners. Welcome. Please find a comfortable space. Today's conversation is different. It's not about a distant dream, but a very close, tangible key. A key that can feel awkward in your hand at first. We're going to talk deeply and personally about the shadowing method.
Thank you, Maya. This topic, it's personal for me. It's not just a technique, it's where my voice in English was truly born. But its nursery was a place of deep frustration. I want to talk about that frustration first, because if you felt it, you are not alone.
Let's start there then. At the very beginning. Leo, can you describe that first raw feeling?
The first time I tried? It was humiliating. And I was alone in my room. I chose a clip of a news anchor, so clear, so authoritative. I pressed play, opened my mouth to follow, and nothing. My brain locked. It was like seeing a complex dance and having your legs refuse to move. All I managed was a stuttered echo of the last word. I felt a hot wave of embarrassment for myself in an empty room. I thought, my English is so much worse than I believed.
Yes, that hot feeling. I know it. For me, it wasn't a news anchor. It was a children's storyteller. I thought this should be easy, but the gentle flow of her sentences was a mountain I couldn't climb. I heard my own voice, tight and foreign, clashing with her soothing tone. I didn't feel like a learner. I felt like a vandal, ruining something beautiful. I almost cried. I closed the laptop. That was step one, really step zero, the wall of shame. We have to name it.
Exactly. Naming it is crucial. That wall tells you you're at the edge of your ability. Growth is on the other side. So, after hitting that wall, I knew I needed a different approach. Not a harder voice, but a kinder one. This is the true step one, choosing your companion.
Not material, a companion.
Yes. A voice that doesn't intimidate you. A podcast host who feels like a friend, a teacher from a learning channel whose pace is patient. You are going to follow this voice very, very closely. You must feel you can trust it. Who did you choose, Maya, after that first failure?
I went backwards. I chose a recording of my own teacher from a year before. A voice already associated with safety. His pronunciation was clear, but not intimidating. It felt less like an invasion and more like following. But even with his voice, I was scared to start. My hands were almost clammy.
That leads to the gentle step two, the ritual of listening. Before you even think of speaking, you just listen. Not as a student, but as a human. You close your eyes. You let the sounds wash over you without the pressure to catch anything. You might listen 3-4 times. You read the transcript not to study, but to understand the heart of what's being said. You are making the unknown familiar. You are building a sanctuary of comprehension before you step into it.
That ritual became my anchor. I would make tea, put on my headphones, and just absorb. It stopped being a performance and started being a meeting. But Leo, the moment comes. The play button. The deep breath. How do you take the first speaking step without the panic returning?
You make the step microscopic. This is step 3, the sympathetic echo. You are not shadowing it. You are echoing with a pause. You play a short phrase, just good morning, or on the other hand. You pause. And then you repeat, not to test yourself, but to offer a sympathetic echo. Your goal is not accuracy, but resonance. To feel the shape of the phrase in your mouth. It is slow, deliberate, and kind.
Sympathetic echo. I love that. It removes the judgment. It's just vocal empathy. I would do this with 5 phrases. Just 5. And if I got them all close, that was my whole practice. Celebrating that was step 4, the economy of victory. One good echo is worth 100 panicked chases.
That celebration is the fuel. When you have a few small victories, you can brave step 5, the shadow proper. This is the chase. You start speaking just one heartbeat after the speaker. This is where the magic and the mess live together. Your focus here is not on being perfect. It is on attachment. Imagine you are connected to the speaker by a fragile, golden thread. Your only job is to not let that thread snap. Even if your words are a jumble, you match their rhythm, their emotion. You are a leaf being pulled by their stream.
The first time I tried that, the thread snapped constantly. I'd get lost after 3 words. The old frustration would bubble up. I had to learn step 6, the focus filter. You don't hear everything. You choose one thing to follow. Today, you say, I will only follow the rhythm. I will tap my hand with their stress. Tomorrow, I will only follow the melody of their questions. Another day, I will just try to hear how words link together. Filtering the chaos makes it manageable.
That is so wise. And on the days when even that feels too heavy, the days you're tired, discouraged, when the wall feels high again, you have step 7, the 90-second promise. You set a timer. For 90 seconds, you shadow. You give it your compassionate attention for just 90 seconds. Then, you are free. You have kept the thread alive. You have honored the practice. Some of my biggest breakthroughs came on days where I only had 90 seconds in me.
That promise to myself changed everything. It wasn't a demand, it was a contract of care. And over time, something quiet happened. The voice I was shadowing, it didn't feel foreign anymore. It started to feel like a part of my own voice's family. I began to notice.
The moments of synchronization?
Yes, there would be a phrase, a sentence, where my voice and their voice blended perfectly in my headphones. For a second, I couldn't tell who was leading. It was a flash of fluency. Not perfect grammar, but perfect flow. It felt like flying for a single second.
Those flashes are the seeds. They prove the path is real. But the path isn't linear. I remember shadowing a politician's speech, feeling confident, and then hitting a complex statistic, a string of numbers. My voice tripped, stuttered into silence. The old shame whispered, "See? You're faking." I had to practice step 8, compassionate troubleshooting. Not I failed, but what specifically was the rock I tripped on? Was it the TH in 300? The linking in 5.5? I would isolate that rock and practice it alone, with tenderness, not anger.
That turns a failure into data, into a teacher. And eventually, you start to bring this skill out of the practice room. Step 9, shadowing the world. You do it silently in your mind at the coffee shop. You listen to a barista, to a conversation on the bus, and in your mind, you instantly, silently shadow their melody. The world becomes your practice room.
And that is where it stops being a method and starts being a part of you. The final, lifelong step is step 10, becoming your own guide. One day, you are shadowing, and you realize you are no longer just following. You are making choices. You hear a native speaker say something in a way that feels slightly off to you now, and your own, well-trained ear thinks, I would phrase that melody differently. You have developed an internal compass for the music of English.
So, it's a journey from shame to safety, from chaos to a chosen focus, from a foreign voice to an integrated part of your own.
It is. It's the practice of building a home for your English voice inside the houses of other voices. You don't steal their house. You learn its architecture, so you can build your own.
Leo, that idea of building a home inside other houses, it's so beautiful. But it makes me think of the days when the tools feel blunt. When you're not building, you're just hitting walls. Can we talk about the anatomy of a bad shadowing day? Not just frustration, but the specific demons that come up?
I think we must. If we don't, the method feels like a theory, not a practice. The first demon is the comparison demon. You are in your head, listening to the pristine audio, then listening to your own recording. The gap feels oceanic. The demon says, you will never sound like that. Stop trying. It paralyzes your vocal cords with shame.
That demon is loud. I've found its whisper in my own ear. Your R is so heavy. Your TH is a cartoon. It makes you hyperanalyze every microsound instead of riding the wave of speech. The antidote, for me, was to change the goal. The goal is not to sound like them. The goal is to move my mouth with them, to synchronize the machinery, not the final product. It's the difference between trying to paint the Mona Lisa and simply learning how Leonardo mixed his paints and held his brush.
That's a profound shift. From product to process. The second demon is the stamina demon. Shadowing is cognitively exhausting. It uses the same mental muscles as simultaneous interpretation. After 5 minutes, you feel mentally foggy, your focus shatters. The demon says, "You're too tired. This is pointless. Your brain can't handle this."
And if you push through on willpower alone, you reinforce the idea that it's a painful chore. So, the ritual becomes sacred. Short sprints with full presence. 3 minutes of intense, focused shadowing where you are only shadowing, phone away, world closed out, is infinitely more valuable than 20 minutes of distracted, half-hearted mumbling. You must respect the exhaustion. It means you're building new neural pathways. That fog is the feeling of construction.
Exactly. You're laying down new wiring. The third demon is perhaps the most insidious, the boredom demon. You've shadowed the same 90-second clip about a day in London 12 times. You know it by heart. The demon says, "This is stupid. You're not learning anything new. This is mindless repetition."
Oh, boredom. It masquerades as wisdom. I've mastered this, let's move on. But true shadowing mastery isn't about the content of the words. It's about the container, the pronunciation, rhythm, and melody. When boredom hits, that's your signal to change your focus layer. You know the words? Good. Now, ignore them completely. Shadow only the emotional subtext. Is the speaker secretly skeptical? Excited? Tired? Mimic that with your tone. Or shadow only the physicality. How would this speech feel if you were giving it on a stage? With big gestures? Your breath support changes. You're no longer learning a day in London. You're learning how emotion lives in the human voice.
That's where it becomes an art. It's no longer language learning, it's voice acting. And through that play, you internalize the authentic music of emotion in English. But Maya, let's get even more practical. We've talked about clips and podcasts. What about the raw, messy material of real life? How do we shadow then?
The unguided shadow. This is advanced, but so powerful. You're watching a YouTube vlog, a cooking show, a documentary. There's no transcript. The speech is spontaneous, filled with umps, rephrasing, and natural slips. Can you shadow here?
It's the ultimate test of attachment. Without a transcript safety net, you must rely entirely on your listening and your courage to approximate. You will make more mistakes, but you will learn adaptive fluency, how to keep the flow going even when you miss a word. You learn to substitute, to mumble through the uncertain part, just like native speakers do. It's terrifying and liberating. You're shadowing life itself.
It connects back to our dreams, doesn't it? The nightmare of making a mistake in public. Unguided shadowing in a safe, private space is like a vaccine against that fear. You practice making graceful recoveries in the safety of your room. Now, let's talk about the body. We've been so focused on the mind and the ears. But shadowing is a physical act.
Absolutely. Embodied shadowing. You cannot shadow well if you are slumped, breathing shallowly from your chest. The voice you're following is often supported by a strong diaphragm. So, stand up. Pace gently. Use hand gestures that match the speech's energy. If the speaker is telling an exciting story, open your posture. If they're being confidential, lean in. Your body informs your voice. I once shadowed a motivational speech while walking briskly around my table. The physical energy transformed my vocal energy.
It makes it holistic. You're not just a brain decoding sounds. You're an entire human being communicating. This leads me to a sensitive question, Leo. What about our own accent? The unique color of our first language in our voice. In shadowing, are we trying to erase it? That thought can feel like a betrayal of identity.
This is the deepest question. Thank you for asking it. The goal is not erasure. It is clarity and flexibility. Think of it like this: you have a beautiful, unique instrument, your voice. But if some of the valves are sticky or the tuning is off, it can't play the full range of music you want it to play. Shadowing is like going to a master craftsman for your instrument. They don't replace your violin with a new one, they adjust the pegs, clean the strings, so it can play Bach and your own compositions more beautifully. You are learning the mechanics of the English sound system so you can choose when to use them. Your accent is your history, your pronunciation is your choice. Shadowing gives you more choices.
That is such a compassionate reframe. It's about empowerment, not replacement. You're adding tools to your toolbox, not throwing the old ones away. With this more compassionate, holistic, demon-aware approach, how do we structure a real, week-by-week practice? Not a rigid rule, but a gentle framework.
Let's build a 4-week shadowing journey of integration. Week 1, the week of kindness. Goal: build safety in habit. Defeat the comparison demon. Material: 2 to 3 minutes of very slow, clear audio from a trusted learning source. Practice: 10 minutes per day, 5 minutes of ritual listening, no speaking. 5 minutes of sympathetic echoing, paused repetition. Forbidden: recording yourself. Success metric: did you show up? Did you finish feeling calm, not frustrated?
Week 2, the week of attachment. Goal: build the neural thread. Practice staying attached. Material: the same clip from week 1, now familiar. Practice: 12 minutes per day, 2 minutes of listening. 10 minutes of close shadowing, focusing only on not letting the thread snap. The words be a blur if they must. Success metric: can you stay attached for 20 seconds without a major crash? That's a win.
Week 3, the week of texture. Goal: add layers of focus. Fight the boredom demon. Material: a new 90-second clip at a natural speed. Practice: 15 minutes per day in 3 by 5 minute sessions. Session 1, shadow for rhythm, tap it out. Session 2, shadow for melody, be an opera singer. Session 3, shadow for emotion, be an actor. Success metric: did you notice one new, tiny sound or pattern you'd never heard before?
Week 4, the week of integration. Goal: bring it into the world. Build stamina. Material: 1 3 to 4 minute segment of authentic content. Vlog, interview. Practice: variable. Day 1, ritual listening and transcript review. Day 2, unguided shadowing, just go for it. Day 3, embodied shadowing, stand up, move. Day 4, a single 90-second promise if tired, or a full 5-minute session if energetic. Success metric: can you catch and enjoy a few moments of synchrony? Can you shadow a complex sentence while making tea? This framework feels alive. It has breathing room. It has self-compassion built into its structure. It's not a brutal training regimen. It's a dialogue with the language. Leo, to close this deep dive, what is the one feeling, the one internal shift, that tells a person they are shadowing correctly? Not perfect results, but correct process.
It's a specific feeling of flow state exhaustion. It's not the frustration of failure. It's the satisfying tiredness of deep work. Your mind is quiet, the criticizing voice is gone because it's fully occupied with the task. There is only the voice you're following, the vibration in your own body, and the chase. Time distorts. You finish and think, wow, that was 5 minutes? It feels like you've been on a short, intense journey. You may not have perfectly replicated a single sentence, but you have inhabited the English language for those minutes. That inhabitation, repeated daily, is what rebuilds your voice.
Inhabitation. That's the word. You're not just studying a house from a textbook, you're living in it, feeling where the floorboards creak, how the light falls in the afternoon. That is the profound gift of this method. It's not a shortcut, it's a portal to a deeper, more intuitive relationship with English.
And like any portal, it requires you to step through, again and again, with courage and kindness for yourself.
To our listeners, your portal awaits. It might be a 90-second promise today. It might be a week of kindness. We are here, having walked this path, to tell you that the other side, the side of flow, of synchronization, of your own powerful, clear, flexible voice, is real.
Thank you for sharing this deep space with us today. May your shadowing be compassionate, your focus sharp, and your moments of synchrony many. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thanks for watching. See you in the next episode, and make sure to subscribe and like.